I wanna talk about some BS on the podcast. Can we get a mic check? So give it up for your co-host Joe and Greg as they lay it down like a penis on your leg. And talk about that nerd shit insurgent. Don't be late because the content is spoon-fed food on your plate. It's synergy. Name a team in history that conquers these topics like black getting beat by Listerine. I wanna talk about some BS.
Hello, welcome to the Bearded Synergy Podcast. My name is Greg Gavin, and I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. You could fight me if you want, but Whoopi Goldberg is the greatest actress of our time.
Top 3 movies.
Fucking bring it. Sister Act,
I knew
Sister Act 2, and Little Rascals.
That's actually not.
I'm just saying.
Not a bad top 3. I have a song called Whoopi Goldberg, so I'm down with it.
You have a well, I mean, what other actress or actor does as good of a job as her with no eyebrows? She has no eyebrows. And
off
she's
the top
fantastic.
of my head, I can't name another person without eyebrows besides Steve-O. But Steve-O's got some dope movies too.
You can't do it. Steve-O can't hold a candle to Whoopi Goldberg.
Steve-O could hold a candle to anybody. He snorted
yes
like coke AIDS. AIDS on coke. He snorted that shit.
Steve-O's a weird fucking cat.
Whatever's on the table. My name is Joe Nelson, and that's me in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's me in the spotlight. That's me losing my religion. Not a fact of life. Just a really good song. It's actually why it took so long, Greg. I was listening. This song, REM came on. I was like, I just gotta listen to this shit for a little bit. Greg couldn't wait.
Yeah. I was watching Sesame Street and
on HBO.
On Amazon Prime, and one of the episodes has REM in there. Kind of redoing their song, but for kids, and they look so unhappy to be there. But my God, Sesame Street has a lot of sexual predators on that show. They got Matt Lauer on there like 8 times. They got Cuba Gooding Jr. acting like he does, where he's a raging alcoholic.
Is Cuba an alcoholic?
Major, like blackout. There's all these videos coming out now where he's in bars and he's just sticking his hand down girls' pants and shoving his thumb up their hole.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. I mean, if he was just drinking, I can't say shit about that, but can't be doing that.
Well, and there's scenes where like he's at a club and the DJ's like, "Hey, everybody, look, it's Cuba Gooding Jr." And then he comes up and he's like, "Somebody fuck that baby," or something like that. And everyone's like, what?
To be fair,
what the fuck?
Cuba did Radio. It's a dope ass movie.
Yeah,
I can't be mad at him.
Was Whoopi Goldberg in Rat Race?
If I can recollect, yes.
You got Seth Green, Cuba Gooding Jr., Mr. Bean.
You got the list?
I'm gonna hate myself for this, but the one of the guys from Monty Python. God, that's gonna bug the fuck out of me. How do I not?
I actually haven't seen Rat Race in fucking forever. It's been some time. Yeah, I remember it being real.
It's a good movie.
I watched it around like a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. type deal. It was a good time.
It's good stuff. Well, what are we talking about today, Joe?
Well, Greg, Halloween's right around the corner. All that razor bladed candy. Are you excited?
I'm excited to get even more cavities.
Oh,
than
I feel
now.
one on me right now.
So it should be fun.
How about we take all our favorite stuff and we just talk about that? Do a top 10.
Yeah, like a top 10 spooktacular. It's a vague title for a vague topic, so don't take it too seriously, because we definitely are not.
Absolutely not. Some of these, I couldn't help myself. Do you have any honorable mentions, Greg?
Well, A few here and there. I'm gonna keep them just in case you name off
I
something
feel
I
you.
have. So I have a feeling we might have some crossover.
I'm
But
curious on
what about
I
you?
agree with you. I'm curious on where it's gonna be though.
I mean, there's only so much Halloween stuff, but then again, I don't watch a lot of horror movies. Except for yesterday, I had to watch The Shining for our poll thing. The people voted for me to watch The Shining, and I watched it at midnight, which was a stupid idea.
How did it sit with you?
Yeah,
Did you feel it afterwards? Was it creeping on you?
a little. Um, the movie was kind of dumb.
It's one of them oldies, man. That they
It
worked with
is.
what they had.
There's
Plus, I like how
a,
Jack did that.
oh yeah, definitely acting wise, cinematography wise, all that. It's fantastic.
I found
And
myself laughing through it, but
yeah,
I just enjoyed it. It's just fun.
there's there's a bit of it that I like, but it's a lot of random stuff, and a lot of it doesn't make sense when you think back on it, and it feels like spoilers if you haven't seen um The Shining. I mean, I'm probably the last person on earth to not see it, but at the end there's that picture and it shows him at the ball in the 1920s, and it suggests like either reincarnation or whatever, and it when you think back on it, there's not a real whole lot to really support that other than random things he says, like, "Oh, it feels like I've been here
Well,
before."
they do have another
It's like,
movie coming out.
okay.
I'm curious on
Yeah,
if they're
Doctor
gonna dig
Sleep,
into
which,
that because there were references all over the trailer. So
yes.
I'm curious.
And, yeah, and the ending just felt kind of tacked on to make the movie seem like it was more interesting than it was, or that it was like a deep thinker. Because I was curious. I'm like, what am I missing?
Well, it's an adaptation,
And
isn't it?
yeah, from the book. And there's a lot of
So yeah, there's
changes. And
always things that get missed, like the Jack's other movie back in that era, One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. Uh, I love this. Is my favorite book of all time. I love the movie, but it is fucking different, and that's just kind of
yeah,
how that shit is.
most books tend to be pretty different from their
Yeah, people take their liberties.
movie adoptions. And I guess Stephen King wasn't too happy with The Shining and how they portrayed it, but
I mean
you
that's his
know,
baby, you know.
yeah, a lot of people seem to think it's tied with Native American stuff because they mentioned the Indian burial ground, and he's throwing a ball at a nearby a mounted buffalo head, and that's really the only references they have to it. So it just seems like one of those theories. It's like, eh, it's like a movie that's trying to be deep, and it doesn't seem like it's deep
It was
to me.
probably
But
deep back then. Um,
the thing that irked me was that lady that was like decayed and the bloating, rotting body. That kind of stuck in my head for a bit because, again, I'm watching this at midnight and it ended around 2, so
that's pretty close to
that was
witching
still
hour.
in
You're
my
creeping in
head.
on it.
Yeah, and then I had to edit it, so I had to rewatch that scene a few more times. So it's like, so I was up pretty late last night. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, and I still really haven't. So if I yawn, I'm sorry. But yeah, those are all in all. I thought the movie was okay, but other than that furry and the weird rotting lady, those are my big
It's all
takeaways
about
from
that
it.
door
But
scene with the axe.
yeah, definitely. It's very intense, and I liked it. Um,
Yeah,
but
I think the
how
last
were
movie to really get me, to sit with me afterwards, like damn, I have to go to sleep now. Was I watched this Illuminati documentary. It's like tied in with
mm,
it being Luciferian and shit. I was watching this shit in the dark. I'm like, there's so many cameras in here. So I had to turn the light on so I can scope my room out and figure that shit while I'm watching it. That stayed with me for a little bit.
yeah,
I was also on some shit.
Was it like a documentary or like a fictional thing?
No, it was talking about Bilderberg and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah, yeah, that Illuminati stuff gets weird, especially when you look at like the Freemason
when they start
stuff and
sacrificing beings and shit.
that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
That's what I'm saying. I got deep into that shit for a couple of years. So I don't read the news anymore. I'm like, fuck it.
I knew this guy that tried to join the Freemasons for the sole purpose of finding out their secrets, and he's one of those uh, people that you wouldn't expect to be in the Freemasons. Were very high class, yacht owners or wealthy benefactors, and he was like an 18-year-old hick. Like, I don't think you're their type. I mean, sorry to say, but
That's it.
I don't think you're on their poster. But
It's all about who's on the milk. It's all about who's on the milk carton.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to go to metal shows, mosh for a little bit in some fucking Mason place.
How have you been lately?
I'm good, man. I was just in Wisconsin actually. You know that. Things didn't
Yes.
work out, but I had a good time while I was up there, so all that was kosher.
Well, good.
Now
good.
back to work.
Gotta get those properly prepared meats.
Properly prepared meats.
Yeah, kosher.
Oh yeah. I thought you were saying like you had delivery, which I kind of want to do that shit. Was it the butcher box or some shit? They deliver just cuts of meat to you, grass fed. I want to try that shit.
I don't. Anytime people mail me food, I think it's weird.
It comes with some anthrax. It's just some added flavor. It's all good.
My mom used to be terrified of anthrax,
The band.
especially after 9/11. No, not the band. Like the stuff that comes in the mail.
Oh yes.
And when I was little, we lived in Baraboo, and my mom was sure as shit that we were gonna get an anthrax attack at our house specifically.
She watched that documentary.
Barely treading water, like poverty family in an apartment complex. We're gonna get anthrax. Don't open that mail.
You could be a test area. Like just because you're in that situation, they're like, let's just fuck it. Sprinkle some over here.
Yeah, man. St. Louis was a test area. Back in the day, the military used to fly over and spray chemicals out of
it's for the bugs.
out of planes, like kind of like crop dusting, but just
a light shower.
Yeah, it was more like radioactive stuff to see like initial testing if there was like a nuclear attack, but they did it over the more urban areas with minorities. So there was a racial component too.
There usually is.
And that's depressing. So, but I'm pretty sure my mom didn't know about that. But if she did, I think she'd be even more.
Yeah, that would probably fuck her shit up.
I'm paranoid about it. Yeah. Well, all right. Do you want to start off with our spooktacular countdown?
Yeah, man, let's do it. You want coin flip for first?
I don't have a coin. I have a pen. Okay. Well, I'll go first, I guess, because why not? I don't care. I don't have any honor. All right.
Dishonored.
Number 10. This isn't really in any order, but it's just for numerical stuff so we can keep track of where the fuck we are. I'm going to say Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus.
That Disney
movie with Bette. Yeah, Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, and I don't know who though. It's the shit. It's a lot of nostalgia. I used to watch it a lot with my sisters when we were little and my brother, and now I bought it, so I'm watching it with the kids. And now the movie's funny for me because apparently Bette Midler was super dick hungry through the whole set, and she would get mad if people were paying attention to her husband who would visit on set, to see her wife. And she would get mad, like, don't stare at my husband! And stupid shit
Did you
like that.
research behind the scenes?
I forgot where I heard it, so this is probably bad, but let's just stick with this rumor because it's fun. And I just like the idea of that, where Bette Midler's just going lunch lady strength, where Bette Midler has like lunch lady strength and just is trying to rip out Sarah Jessica
She
Parker's
don't give
hair.
no fucks.
Like, that's my man. Yeah, all in all, it's good. But I would ultimately say Hocus Pocus is really like the story, or Hocus Pocus is really about the curse of the teenage boner. Because my God, everything that goes wrong is because that dude is just going through puberty and wants that lady. So that's really the underlying theme that I've noticed is, damn, this kid just wants some
God
action.
damn it, Disney.
I mean, he's holding on to his pillow and he's like, "Ooh, you're so soft," and he's kissing it, and then he lights that black candle to impress the
I'm
girl.
over here
and
thinking about that like zombie taxi driver and the cat. You're thinking about puberty and shit.
yeah, man, talking black cats like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, they are on
Yeah,
game.
it's a
man.
great plot device.
If it is. So if you're ever making like a sitcom or a TV show, throw in a black
just have 'em
cat,
talk, say some shit.
give it a voice, and you'll be good. Do you have any history with Hocus Pocus?
No, I mean, I
Or-
probably inadvertently watch it every year, but it's a good time. They
Yes.
yeah, they did a good job with that one. But Disney was making some dope shit back then. They made that one was it Don't Look Under the Bed or some shit like this?
Yeah, the late 90s, early 2000s movies.
Yeah, they did
always
a good
pretty good.
job.
Yeah.
Number 10 for me is nostalgic as well, Greg. I was hoping you were gonna pick like something creepy or some shit. It's gonna be a goofy start. My number 10 is Michael Jackson's Thriller on MTV every Halloween. That shit for like they did the half-hour video for that shit.
I was actually thinking of putting that on, but then I thought, I don't know.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Maybe not. That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I remember the first time I watched it because I grew up with Aerosmith and Creed almost exclusively.
You see this motherfucker turn into a werewolf chasing his date. Like, what the fuck is going on? And now they're dancing.
we were going through our candy, and all of a sudden that comes on, and I'm maybe 5 or 6, and it just weirded me the hell out. I'm like, why is he dancing like that? That was the big thing. It's like, what's with the dance? It confused me because I've never seen anyone dance like
Dancing's
that.
where it's at, man. I always find it weird when there's always like and musicals do it and shit, but everybody just stops and dances. Like they just work that shit out, or like, hey, if the moment ever comes for the entire town to dance, we gotta practice this shit because they got it down. I can just imagine all these motherfuckers just come out the ground, no experience with each other. Like, let's do this dance move.
After watching that documentary on HBO, Michael Jackson's Leaving Neverland, where those little kids, like those 2 little boys, are like, I fell in love with him after watching him dance. And then in retrospect, where my thoughts were, this motherfucker's weird. Turn this off.
It ain't about Michael Jackson, babe. It's
uncomfortable.
about the Thriller video. That is a masterpiece. That entire record is a masterpiece.
It definitely is.
He made a 30-minute fucking music video. Like, acted the whole shit out.
But
he was balling like a motherfucker in the music.
My point is, though, is that I would be a difficult child to rape because Michael Jackson could not lure me in with his gyrating hips. I'd be like, I'm not used to this.
Like, I gotta repel for that motherfucker.
That's my big takeaway. But yeah,
Hey, man.
the album's definitely good.
You see, that's just you being salty that he scared you as a kid. You're holding grudges.
Not so much scared. I mean, definitely when I was little, the video scared me, but I was more confused by the dancing. And I remember asking my mom, why is he dancing like that? She's like, it's Michael Jackson. I'm like, I have no idea who that is. This doesn't mean anything to me. Why is he dancing like that? And he's like, she was saying how he's been dancing like that since he was little. I'm like, again, none of this has any any history with me. I don't understand why he's dancing like this. So I don't. That was my big takeaway, and I think that's why I didn't put him on my list. But when you think so,
That's just funny to me.
when you think of Thriller and Halloween, what do you think
I
of?
think of how dope the fucking song is, man. It's a dope fucking song.
Two different fucking angles.
Here's the thing.
I'm a difficult kid to rape.
I mean,
and I just like the song.
no, I mean that's what it is. Look, I separate the art from the artist. That's why I still fucking play as Chris Benoit in my SmackDown games. I don't mix the two. But a creative mind is very different than what you are to the world. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Michael Jackson was a weird dude. He also had a Pepsi commercial blow up in his face. So yeah, he didn't have a great. If he did some shit, he probably did some shit. He most definitely did some shit. But I mean, Man in the Mirror comes on, I'm dancing, I'm singing that shit. And I grew up where we were listening to Motown and Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson. And I have this album on wax where it was right after his Jackson 5 days. And he just did a bunch of covers of, like Rockin' Robin and, Sunshine by Bill Withers. And he just slays the whole fucking record.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always come up knowing that Michael Jackson as an artist is an artist. I watched the court cases. I thought the motherfucker was ridiculous, dancing on the limousines. I thought the lady with the doves was just overdoing it. You don't have to sell it that hard. The pajamas, very unprofessional. Mm-hmm. And he probably had some pills in the fucking pajama pockets. That's where you keep your pills anyways. But yeah, I mean that doesn't. All the scandal shit don't come out. I just remember sitting down every Halloween. Like, I'd come home early from trick-or-treating to watch this video. Just sit there, eat the candy that I like, watch this motherfucker dance, listen to this motherfucker sing, and then scare his date, and then all these other fucking zombies. It's just a dope fucking time. And they did it for so many years consecutively. It was like what do they call it? Tradition. Yeah, it was a tradition.
Yeah. I would, upon further reflection, again on my childhood, I'm starting to believe I was raised kind of like that town on Footloose, where they don't know what dancing is because
I feel like your entire town was white.
I think that may be a legal excuse for me to not understand the dancing because I was just dumbfounded by it. It was kind of like watching like Dumbo for the first time.
Everybody has a preference, Greg. I didn't get the Twilight thing. I don't get most of the things people are doing nowadays. We all have different tastes. You don't have to be expect. Do you like Tom Jones? Yeah, do you like the Carlton dance?
I'm not familiar.
You don't know the Carlton dance? Fresh Prince? You don't know Tom Jones?
Oh, Fresh Prince?
It's not unusual, Greg.
I don't know the name. But one thing I would say is Motown is definitely awesome. Like, I still on a regular basis listen to like the Four Tops, the Temptations, Marvin Gaye, all that stuff. It and it just sucks that it took me to like my adulthood to find that whole genre, which is a shame
Oh,
because it's really
habits.
good.
I didn't appreciate classic rock until I got older. Like I found out about the Beatles way too late, and I had so many chances before. This shit happens. I
Yeah.
found folk way too late too because that entire fucking style of music is gold.
Hmm. I remember being like 16 and hearing Beatles for the first time, and my friend's sister was driving us home from work, and she's like, "Do you know this song?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "You don't know the Beatles?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "What's
You're like,
wrong with you?"
no,
I'm like,
no Beatles for me.
"I don't like." My mom exclusively listened to Aerosmith, probably because she was trying to convince herself that Steven Tyler was my dad. Hi, Dad. And Creed because Yeah, and Creed because I don't know, maybe she liked Scott Stapp, so it's like
I liked him
it's
being drunk on Spike TV.
yeah, it's them two exclusively, and then my dad was just whatever was on classic rock, which is a little more of a variety, but still. Um, Joe, what is your favorite like Halloween
My
candy?
favorite.
Well, I guess it doesn't have to be Halloween candy, but just say you got a candy.
I mean, off of instinct, when I get my fat kid mode, um, a Reese's cup or a Butterfinger. I like peanut butter and chocolate. Anything like that, uh
Oh,
I'm
yes.
picking the fuck up. I'll fight children for that shit. What about you, Greg?
That's good. That's good. Um, Reese's probably. Wait, did you say Reese's or Reese's?
You expect me to remember that far back? That's
It's
cruel,
like
Greg. That's fucked
it's
up.
it's like just naturally. Do you call them Reese's or Reese's?
I guess it depends on the mood. If I'm
Oh
looking
my
at the product,
God,
I'll probably say Reese's. But
you son
suck
of a
my dick.
bitch!
No, my girlfriend gives me flack
I
on this all
can't.
the time because for some reason, there's this weird mix of me talking a certain way while I lived in the Chicagoland area and then moving to Wisconsin. So somehow I'm a content junkie, like I'm constantly listening to other people's voices and stuff. So I just have a weird spin on how I use some of the letters in my words, and it drives her nuts. Like when I use it's like a letter, like the A letter, E letter, like my vowels are kind of. I do what I want with them.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna try to articulate if I don't feel like it. So I'm just lazy about it. It drives her
Yeah.
fucking nuts. So I have fun with it.
Okay. Well, here's my final test for you. Do you um how do you say Reese's Pieces? Do you say Reese's
Well, you
Pieces
just said
or
Reese's Pieces.
well, I'm asking what you say with it. This is my final test for you because this will determine my
Is this a game? Do I win money for
your
this?
you just imagine it's like The Sims, and if you do the right answer, you get like a green plus above
Well,
my head.
with Pieces,
That's-
I would say Reese's just because of the rhyme. So that if that's like apples and
okay,
oranges because you're throwing in other kinds of context.
okay, okay,
It's like an
okay.
automatic affiliation.
You are good then.
Oh, I was good no matter
I I
what.
I ask you this because I have a story.
You have a story. Give me the story.
I'm sorry. I used to me and you met at Culver's, but I used to work at the Reedsburg Culver's before I worked at the one where I met
The
you.
Dells.
And I remember it was late at night,
Ugh.
the Dells, and I was also working in Reedsburg. And I remember being there late at night, and someone came in through Drive. And I swear to Christ, this is top 3, like, the things that have just pissed me off more than anything else on the planet. This lady comes in and she asks for a Reese's. She says like that, which is fine. Not a big deal. I don't care. And it's late at night and the register lady says, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of Reese's." And she's like, "Do you have Reese's Pieces?" Like that. Reese's Pieces. Now, if you want to say Reese's, like, God damn it, I'm having a tongue twist moment. If you want to say Reese's Pieces or Reese's Pieces or whatever, but Reese's and Reese's, I understand it's like kind of a Mandela effect thing or whatever, where people just see the same word and pronounce it differently. I get that, but you cannot fucking mispronounce the word pieces to fucking mix up your own chosen dialect to pronounce candy. It's Reese's Pieces or Reese's Pieces, not Reese's Pieces. What in the living fuck? I was so fucking enraged. I
You know,
cannot
Greg,
even. I
I f-
cannot explain
I
it
feel
enough
like
how mad I was at
I
this
feel
woman.
like you
I
can't
was
do
so
that because you're a history buff too. So I'm surprised. Like if nothing that people say nowadays is gonna be traditional. So if you're gonna start splitting hairs, you're gonna find a lot of cracks. You know what I'm saying?
I am perfectly fine with like accents and dialects and all that.
No, I
I'm
just
just
mean
saying she's
like
completely fucking
proper fucking articulations. Like nobody. Like you gotta be like some Princeton, Oxford, like you just make money for being smart type motherfucker. To be like perfectly articulate in everything you say, especially like when it comes to certain vowels, because everybody conjures things up. They do what they will with them. They take certain liberties, but nobody, no, and you will never be. Nobody will be fucking perfect. That is ridiculous,
I get
especially
that.
when we're from the United States, because everybody in the United States, nobody gives a fuck about how they speak or the language. Hey, what is this eat shit? They just make up words. Bling was a fucking term of the year. Nobody gives a fuck.
Fucking yeet. I don't know, man. Just every now and again, I'll think back to that lady saying Reese's Pieces. It's like she's trying. She's like bending over backwards to make it work for her.
Hey man,
And oh my god, it pissed
if that
me
grinds your
off
gears,
like
I can't.
no goddamn
I can't
amount.
help you, but I'm just saying there's bigger things.
Yeah. It's like I want to take a fucking rock and throw it in a lake and look at the and look over at the horizon dramatically after doing it and yell like I don't know, like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. Well, I think that's enough of a tangent.
So what's your number 9?
Number 9, I guess, not really Halloween related, but it's something that comes to mind when I think of it, and that's sports, especially around October because you got late October, you got football going on, you got the postseason and baseball going on, basketball starts up, hockey's going on. It's an awesome time of year, and I love the hell out of it because there's always something to watch. And oh, just over the years, I have like some just random memories that I just tie with Halloween, even though it's not specifically on Halloween. Stuff like when the Red Sox were the playoffs and Kurt Schilling was a pitcher for the Red Sox and he got that bloody sock and he plays for the Red Sox and his white sock turned all red from his blood and that was around Halloween. I don't know, that stuck in my head. It's just a lot of stupid things like that. It's nothing really big, nothing spooky. It's just kind of a thing like when you sniff the air and
You sniff the air, you just smell ball
that
leather and and sweat.
Can you smell what the weather is cooking? And in my case, it's sports around this time of year. Uh, what about you? What's your number 9?
Well, this is an oddball one. It's pretty pretty culty. It's the only anime thing I like. I mean, I don't consider Pokemon anime or anything. I don't think fucking anime people do either. But it's called Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and these motherfuckers would publish another episode every year around Halloween, like a little bit before, sometime early November. But it was like a Halloween release type deal, and it. I think you'll like it, Greg. This, he's killing this Catholic priest because Catholic priest touches fucking kids. There's monsters and shit, and he's watching Adventure Time when somebody walks in on him, tries to threaten his life, like he don't give a fuck. It's hard to explain. I just know I like it, and you should find it, so you could like it too, Greg, and listeners or whoever the fuck wants to find this shit. Just find it on YouTube. Number 9.
All right. Well, I'll definitely.
Not one sport in
put
that
that on my
special.
list.
There might be a sport. I'm not sure.
Maybe. All right. My number 8 would be the show Supernatural.
Show's dope.
Yeah, and this is primarily because my fiance watches Supernatural every October. It's her little private tradition that she does. It's just like sports with me. She sniffs the air and smells Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. She's like, Supernatural. So she goes and rewatches all that on Netflix or whatever, and it usually works out because they have like a new season by around October. So she'll usually start around like August, and by around October she'll get around to where like the new season premieres. So Supernatural's on a lot in my house.
Like wallpaper. It's
during
some
those
good wallpaper
months.
though. It's a good show.
They got some good wallpaper.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
they do.
like when you have a show on so often that it's like wallpaper. Like that one section of the wall is
like
just that image. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. So like most people have like The Office on for like background noise.
Yeah.
Or
Which is me right now. I think after this I'm gonna take a break from obviously we're gonna do wrestling, but most TV shows I think I'm gonna walk away from for a little bit. But I'm gonna finish up The
Yeah,
Office. I'm on season 6 right now.
Well, they are restarting it, I guess. They're rebooting it, which I would rather them not do, but
Rebooting it like new
money's
episodes.
money, I guess. Like the cast is returning, everyone. Well,
That's all right.
spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it, but well, what is your number 8?
Well, my number 8 is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. The books, not the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I just remember getting these books from the library and reading this shit. That fuck with me. Especially because I'm an arachnophobic. They had that one spider fucking story. And I don't think JP...
Oh yeah, that's right. You got that fear of spiders. I forgot about that.
Those can actually kill you. You won't even know it. I saw a brown recluse spider in action. I saw that shit, and that motherfucker went right back underneath the oven. He said, fuck you guys, you won't catch me.
And I got some stories about spiders that would fucking haunt you. Yeah. they're not pleasant.
I can't be haunted any more than I am. I mean, I'm working on it. It's weird that my favorite superhero is Spider-Man, but I got my issues with spiders, but I'm getting better.
I think a Spider-Man looked more like that mutated spider bit from the animated series. I think it'd be a little bit different.
They'd have a hard time marketing that motherfucker.
He does it. Yeah. Oh, look how... Oh, his eyes are so nice. It's such a deep brown. Oh, wow. Shit.
Yeah, like a giant spider in the eye.
Are these kind of like Goosebumps?
Did you never read these books, Greg?
No,
Oh
not
my god, it's not
necessarily.
like Goosebumps. So what they would do is it was straightforward white paper, and they would do there would be illustrations for each story, but like a sketch. So like black and white, very
Mhm.
little shading, but the imagery would, as a kid, fuck with you a little bit. Uh, I just remember going to the library to check this out every year, and I'd read the fuck out
Mhm.
those books. They were so good. I gotta watch the movie to compare, but that's like for without the scarecrow that you'll find in these books, Jeepers Creepers wouldn't have been, like it'd be goofy to me, but because of you know the scarecrow they have in these books, that motherfucker actually had some weight behind him. It was good for instigating that.
Yeah. So it's like nurturing you to be scared of things later on.
Oh, it nurtured me to want to
um,
punch everything, just in case. I'll get to you first, motherfucker.
shit. Well, good, good.
What's your number
Um,
7, Greg?
Number 7, I got the Simpsons Treehouse of
I
Horror
expected this one.
series. Yes, I haven't watched The Simpsons much lately, really, in about uh, quite a bit of time actually. So I'm not as familiar with the episodes as I would like to be, mainly just because it's just kept going almost
Yeah,
nonstop, and
I left The
I
Simpsons a
had
long
no
time ago.
cable, for a long time. So I'm not that familiar with even the Treehouse of Horror episodes, but um, for whatever reason, my mom being the weird person that she was, um, we had like very basic cable, like an antenna on the TV. You had to move it around to get the channels.
Yeah,
CBS, ABC,
roll
NBC,
some
Fox.
tinfoil on it.
Um, yeah, and she would not let us watch The Simpsons, mostly because of the itchy and scratchy stuff, which sucked. So when me and my brother could watch it, say she'd crash early or something, we would sneak it on and turn it low and just start on the TV. So The Simpsons was like our like rebellious show. But for whatever reason, she would let us watch the Treehouse of Horror episodes when they came on, which are like the most traumatizing episodes. So I thought that was kind of a on reflection, I think that's weird parenting.
She-
So, you're not allowed to watch the show except for the most traumatizing ones. You can watch those.
Maybe
So,
it could have been like
um,
the when you catch your kid smoking, so you make them smoke the whole pack of cigarettes. I think it might have been that approach, but I mean, it never works.
maybe. I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it.
I mean,
So,
when I cussed as a child, my mom would put hot sauce in my mouth. But I love hot sauce.
yes.
That was like a reward.
Oh God, I gotta. Um, when I was in middle school, sometimes my dad would come home drunk, and he'd bring a bunch of his bar buddies, and they'd play a game with us where me and my brother and my two sisters would be up because they'd be playing music at like 1 in the morning, and my dad would be like, "Hey there, I'll give you some money if you eat this thing that you hate." And to them, watching this gag would be funny, and they'd get a laugh, and they'd give us like $1,
I'll take that dollar.
whatever. So like, yeah, my dad would give me like tuna or mayonnaise or
That sounds
mushrooms
like a
or
great sandwich.
hatred for me. So I would gag and, like, almost vomit. And it'll go on. But somehow, my sister Cheyenne convinced my dad that she hated pickles. I don't know how, because she would eat this shit like by the jar every day. And so my dad's all like, I dare you to drink this jar of pickle juice. So my sister, probably at this time around 11, puts on this like face like, oh no. And she's acting like she hates it while she drinks it, like she's taking such a long time. She's like, ah, ah. But deep down, I knew it. I fucking like, oh my God, you fucking clever
There used to be
bastard.
some.
Like, if only there was a way to get my dad to think I hated sausage and egg McMuffins or bacon or French toast. He's like, eat this French toast. You're like, no, don't add the syrup. Fuck. So, yeah, my sister was kind of in the same ballpark as you, but not so much for a punishment, more for their amusement. Random tangents.
There used to be this guy who came through the Culver's drive-through, like maybe once a week, and just order like an extra large container of pickles and like a extra large drink cup full of pickle juice, and you just grab that stuff and dip out.
Ugh,
That concerned me.
Jesus.
It's a lot of vinegar.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
sodium. Jesus fuck.
It's not the way to do it, buddy.
There's
Especially those pickles.
so many. Yeah, and I'm sure for most people that work with fast food, especially our listeners, they could probably relate to, oh, that one guy with the
There's
weird
always one, man.
fucking order. The one guy, like, there was a one guy that would always come in and he wanted his onion rings cooked like pitch black, and no matter how black they were, you could have them down for like 20 minutes. He would always send them back, no matter what, and just have them down again. It didn't matter how burnt they were. He just always sent them back, like almost like a I don't
Oh, I
believe
would
you kind of
just
thing.
char it under a press. Oh, just leave it for days.
Oh, dude, they would be like darker than my fucking soul. I swear.
You're trying so hard to think of something.
So damn dark.
I remember.
Mhm.
Do you remember these two cats? The I don't know politically termed the big motherfucking dudes, like big fat motherfucking dudes. I used to be fat. I could say that. They come in and order like a 5-patty burger with extra mayo, extra cheese, and then a giant fucking trough of chili cheese fries. Do you remember these motherfuckers?
Fucking trough. I
They
don't
would
recall.
come in like multiple times a week and just order this shit, and I would do my very best to make that shit as greasy and cheesy as possible. I'm like, if you're gonna order it, you're gonna fucking have it. And they would every time they just like leave with a thumbs up, like they enjoyed it. I'm like, how are you doing? How are you alive? I started sneaking in like lettuce in there. I was like, hey, you gotta get a little bit at least.
A little bit of less. Shit. Well, where are we at? It's number 7. What's your number 7?
Number 7 is 30 Days of Night. Did you watch this? Do you know what this is?
So I recall the name.
It's
Is
a
it
horror movie, but it's adapted from a graphic novel. So that's probably why I dig it so goddamn much. But it's it was 2007, I believe. Like the Twilight shit was going on. This vampire movie came out fucking swinging its nuts. The idea is there's not that many vampires left, but the ones that are left were smart enough to realize in Alaska there's 30 days of night, right? It's just one long stretch of darkness. They realize they could just feast on these motherfuckers. So the movie starts, you see your hopeful survivors or whatever. Your protagonist. And then these vampires come out, and this shit is brutal. Oh, I loved it. It's a good time.
Stay out
was
of
a
fucking Alaska,
vampire
man. I
movie.
swear.
Yeah, some crazy shit happens in Alaska. At least
Crazy.
it's a good plot device for fiction. Where can we have some
It
crazy
is,
shit
yeah.
go down? Fuck it. Put it in Alaska.
The wild frontier, so to speak.
Yeah,
Shit.
man, you should check it out. That's what you should have done
Yeah,
instead of The Shining. You should have done something darker lit, a little more modern, so you could get into it a little bit, and nothing too cliche. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been a good one.
Well, hopefully this doesn't become a tradition where I gotta watch a movie and react to it, because
because
I really don't feel like pissing my pants on camera, man. I got a feeling if I ever run for office, they're gonna use that against me. Hey, look at this motherfucker. He pissed himself watching
just don't drink water.
fucking Chucky.
Just don't drink anything for that day.
Like,
Have astronaut
Ugh.
rations.
man, to be an
That'd be dope.
astronaut.
I want to go to space.
Mm-mm-mm.
Greg, what's your number 6?
Man, no one can hear you scream. That sounds depressing.
In space?
Oh fuck. Number 6 for me is Zombieland,
Okay.
because for some reason I like zombies.
Zombies are dope.
I don't know why. Yeah, and Zombieland's awesome. You got Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, whoever the hell that other chick is, Bill Murray. The second one came out about a week
Have you
ago
seen it
or
yet?
so I still got to
You
watch
haven't?
that. I have not seen the second one. I've heard it's really good, so
I
I'm
feel like
excited.
there's no way it
But
could be bad.
yeah,
I just trust these guys.
most people, yeah, the reviews I've seen are like, it's either people are mad that it's like the first one, or they're like, it's like the first one. So yeah, if you like the first one, then you like the second
Yeah,
one.
it's pretty fundamental.
So it's like, okay. It's like, so it kind of just depends on if you want drastic change or not. But I'm fine with it if it's like
What do you
that.
mean the sequel was like the same
Go right
story?
the fuck for it. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you could do with a comedy set in a zombie apocalypse. You know, you can't have a whole lot of total change with it.
Yeah, they make a
So-
wrong business deal and now the cartel's after them. But it's like zombie cartel.
Ooh. Speaking of, since we talked about space and now the cartel,
Illuminati.
I heard they're doing a Machete in Space. You know that movie with a Danny Trejo.
Oh my goodness.
It's like
yeah.
Machete 1, Machete 2. I
In
heard
space.
they were gonna do a Machete in Space.
Oh, I
and
hope there's a turtle.
I am so fucking excited. The only other sequel I would want to see more in space would be probably John Wick.
That'd be pretty raw.
That sounds like fun.
That'd be dope as shit.
If you could pick a movie sequel to be set in space, what would it be?
Scarface.
You'd have such a difficult time snorting.
You'd have to get so creative.
Get in my fucking nose! Where is my
He'd
little
figure it out.
friends? I would. Oh shit! What would my? Yeah, I'd say probably John Wick. John Wick doing fucking judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu in space would be really awkward and funny.
I just want to see what the impact will be like.
Yes. Like this doesn't hurt at all. Okay, that hurts a little bit. Stop bending my finger. All right, what's your number 6?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Ooh. Oh my god, that show
Yeah,
is so good.
That
Fucking-
one, you know you had a good childhood when you grew up with this motherfucker.
Yes. My god, rewatching that show, because I made it a point to rewatch like my
It was on
favorite
Netflix
shows
for a little bit.
from like as a kid, like
We got so lucky.
yeah, like Ed, Ed and Eddie
Yes.
is a big one for me. And Courage, rewatching Courage, it's like, Jesus Christ, this shit is
Yeah,
fucking
and
dark
it's
as
really
hell.
deep. Like there was that one. Oh my goodness, it was like the haunted phonograph, and every time they played the record,
Mm-hmm.
like the guy would come out and he was like a genie and fuck about on. He was just trying to trap them. He's trying to lure them into a trap. I'm like, how do you think about this shit?
God.
There's the cat. The cat's trying to feed them to the predator spiders. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's that lady in the
Yeah.
puddle that tries to drag Eustace down.
Fucking Eustace. I absolutely love Eustace. He's the best. One I remember, and it's not because it's scary. It's just because I fucking love stereotypes because I'm a piece of shit. That one where they have that weird foot fungus,
Oh yeah.
and when
Yeah,
it grows,
yeah.
they have that weird fucking that mafia voice, like yes.
Oh yeah, the toes.
I don't know why. That one just
Those were
sticks in my
fantastic.
head.
There's
love that
the
episode.
Bushwick. He's like, go get. He's like,
Yes.
don't get the cops. No cops. Get the coffee. No cops. Schwick, Josh Schwick.
That whole fucking show is brilliant. My God. God damn.
Yeah, I like it a bunch.
Shit. Now I'm thinking about that. God, I wish I could
Yeah,
watch it.
and then we were so lucky because Netflix had. I don't know if this is where you caught it, but for a while there, they had every season, and I just binged that fucking show.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago,
Yeah,
right?
but it feels like yesterday.
Feels like yesterday. Okay, I got
I
a
have an
question.
answer.
I'm sure you do.
Most definitely do.
What are assuming you went trick or treating and you weren't like a Jehovah's Witness?
What if
I
I
don't know if you
was?
are.
I like knocking on doors, and I can't be a Girl Scout. It's the only thing I could have been.
Okay. Well, what were some of your favorite Halloween costumes growing up?
Growing up, we didn't have too many funds, so every year my mom would just coat my hair in mascara, and I would be a truck driver.
There you go. Like a
Puts like stubble on my face.
those guys are legitimately scary.
Truck drivers?
There are
That's because you get
so
pulled
many
over by the cops,
like
and the cops find 39 dead bodies in the back.
there are so many serial killers that are like, semi truck drivers. It's ridiculous, and they can't figure out who they
Yeah,
are.
that's probably why I like
So
that
no.
serial killer book so much. I was being groomed.
There you go.
I haven't done a lot of dressing up as an adult, but I remember, I think I was maybe 20 or 21. I dressed like a crackhead for Halloween. I had some, I was trying to, I guess I was ripping off Tyrone from Chappelle Show. So I had these big old headphones, and I wrote on a shirt, "We'll rap for crack." And the idea was somebody would ask me to freestyle, and then they give me crack rocks. I would knock on the doors, ask them if they had any rocks, and then be like, "Pop rocks. I just want them candy rocks. Give me the candy rocks, Joe Rogan. Come on." Adam was my
Yeah, there you
sponsor,
go.
my brother-in-law Adam. So he would be like, "Yeah, he's finally allowed out today, so we're doing a little trick or treating." Then he has to go back. What about you, Greg?
I got a few. There was one I remember as being like the most. For some reason, my big Halloween memories for trick or treating are the most depressing ones. Where there
Greg,
was one.
I think we're gonna pull the listeners, and we're gonna get you a hug.
Yeah, maybe. There was one where my mom took us to like St. Vinny's or whatever, because poor, and found some cheap Halloween costumes. My brother got to dress up as Scream,
Dope.
which for a little kid is pretty fucking weird,
Ghostface is
but
dope.
he liked it. Yeah, and we found a like discount bootleg Vegeta costume, which I was like, this one, yes. The thing is, it was like the shittiest Vegeta costume, like for Dragon Ball Z. It's this, you know, flimsy little armor thing, and the Vegeta wig was like this paper thin. Um, you gotta imagine like a piece of black cardboard paper cut out in the shape of his hair, and they just tied a Velcro strap to it, and you'd attach it to your head. So when the wind blew, the hair would just flop right over it, like it would
Got
not
yourself
stand
an
up at all.
off-brand.
So yeah, it was pretty bad, and my mom tried all this different stuff to keep it up, like put it on all these weird hats or tape on my hair,
You said
which
cake?
sucked.
She put a cake
It
on your
was
head?
it tape, like in my. I know it's hard to imagine. Back in the day, I had really big, poofy fucking hair. But we're walking around, and you go house to house, and they're like, "Oh, who are you? Oh, who are you?" Every fucking time, they're like, "Ooh, Ghostface, I know you, very scary." And my brother get all this candy, and then they'd see me, fucking weird ass dude in this flimsy ass anime armor and big flopping limp dick of a Vegeta hair on my head, and they're like, "And you?" They just give me some candy, and and I say, "I'm Vegeta." They're like, "Uh huh."
Hey, man, it was enough to get some candy.
That was embarrassing.
It served its
Yeah.
purpose.
And there was another one. This one's a little embarrassing for my friend, so I'm not going to say his
Say
name.
it.
But we were, we were, we were like seniors in high school, and we were bored. We're like, let's go trick or treating. Why the fuck not? I got a costume. I think I dressed up as Shaggy from
Zoink,
Scooby Doo
Scoob.
because I had really poofy hair. I had a green, V-neck shirt. I had weird khakis, so I could pull it off. My friend dressed up like the Green Lantern, and we and I thought we were going to go trick or treating, but it turned out to be a very different reason why we were out, and he did not
You had to solve a
want to
mystery.
tell me until we got there, kinda. And so we're passing all these houses. I'm like, "Hey, let's stop there. Hey, let's stop there." It's like, "No, we'll be late," or something like that. I'm like,
Who's-
"Okay, where are we
who's trying to
going?" He's
kill
like,
you?
"You'll see." So we're going, and we stop at this house, and it's his ex's
red-
house.
He was
This
actually the Red
motherfucker
Lantern.
led me to his ex. He led me to his ex-girlfriend's house to trick or treat at her house, just so he could see her. So again, we're like seniors in high school. I'm like, dude, come on. He's like, after this, we can go trick or treating, but I have to do this. I'm like, okay, man, whatever. We knock on the door, and her fucking boyfriend
Ooh.
answers the door, and he's just staring at him. And he's like, "Hey, is da 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 here?" And he's like, "No, are you guys trick or treating?" And this happens to be
you
the guy
guys-
that she
Are
cheated on
you
him
guys
with.
trick or treating?
Yeah, and she ended up cheating on him
That's
with
pretty
this
rough.
guy. So it was the most embarrassing, most awkward. And after that, I'm like, we could just
Wait,
buy
hold
some
on.
candy.
Did
we
you
could
get?
just
You
pick
didn't
out
get any candy from this house.
maybe
Oh,
no.
that's a failed mission. He buckled under pressure.
It was just like it was so awkward. I felt so bad for him. Like, dude, let's just go buy us some candy. We could get whatever the hell we want. It's okay. So we just picked out on candy for the rest of the day. But yeah, that was a sad day. Uh, there was another one. middle school. I was with my friend Brandon. Um, where probably the last time I trick or treated up until that last time I just told you. Um, I my stepmom and them had a bunch of wigs and stuff because she has a bunch of girls, so I just wore a bunch of weird shit. I was like a disco guy or something. And my friend had a bunch of like loose costumes from his previous years, but he never could find a whole thing. So he just wore a bunch of different stuff. And it was amazing. This motherfucker had an alien mask on, like a weird buff, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like upper body, and like the bottoms of like a werewolf. It was like, dude, you can't go out like that. It's like, I'll just say I'm an alien, they'll get it. I'm like, what the
He's
fuck?
a costume cocktail.
There's no way you're an alien, but you fucking pulled it off the whole time. They're like, what are you? It's like, I'm an alien.
Hey, man, it's about getting that candy.
That was it. That candy's worthwhile. But now I could just buy my own candy, so
Hashtag
fuck
Josh.
that
The key is to get the discount after Halloween.
Yes,
that's the
definitely.
Number 5, Greg.
Number 5, this movie's kind of a weird Christmas thing for me too, and it's not what you're thinking. It's not. It's Harry Potter,
Huh.
which yeah,
This series
there are
or
movies
just
you
the
can
first
watch
one?
during Christmas.
What's the idea here?
Um, I would say the series. It's so weird how a lot of movies can pull it off. The whole Harry Potter series pretty much does it, and The Nightmare Before Christmas kind of pulls it off too, which is a little weird.
Is
but,
Harry Potter a Halloween movie though?
It has some Halloween aspects to it.
Oh yeah, it's got the aspects for sure. I mean, wizardry is pretty fucking evil in other movies.
There
but-
are some things. Yeah, they usually each movie they usually cover like the holiday season. So they'll do like the beginning of the school year up until like Christmas, and then they'll do like a weird like montage where they're doing whatever thing they're not supposed to be doing during Christmas break, like to prepare. And then when everyone comes back, the big thing happens, and then it's like the end of the year. But they usually showcase Halloween
Okay,
and
well,
Christmas
I got you.
during their movies. But there's one specifically, I think it's the third or the fourth one. It's The Prisoner of Azkaban, and that's kind of where the series gets like more dark.
Which one's your favorite?
And probably The Prisoner of Azkaban. It's got Gary Oldman in it and all that, and it deals with like werewolves, and that's where you get like the Dementors and shit, where they like hold on to your brain and it fucks with you. Because like the first two, they have little small aspects, and then in that one, it's like, holy shit, this one's fucking dark. And then by the end, you got Dumbledore, choosing to drink poison and all that. That's awkward.
Did you read the books?
I'm in the process of reading them now, actually, and I dig them. But The Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely a high point for me, and ABC Family, you know how they have like the 13 days of Halloween and like the
Yeah, that's right. They do that
10 days.
marathon.
Yeah, they do Harry Potter and Christmas at like both of those. So it's like it's kind of weird, but
I mean, if people are watching,
growing
fuck
up,
it.
yeah. So I'd say like Harry Potter and specifically The Prisoner of Azkaban definitely stick out to me for
feel you.
Halloween. What about your number 5? What do you got?
I got a series as well. Mine's the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Yeah.
Ooh, Freddy
Yeah,
Krueger.
I'm not a like slasher films overall. I like the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
for some reason that just feels bland to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like conviction, but not. I liked how Wes Craven, put this motherfucker in people's dreams and shit, and some of the things he would do in these
Yeah.
films. As a kid, I'd be like, "Damn, that's rude." Even I was like, "That's a rude thing, Freddy." And then you have his his backstory involved, and then makes it even more fuck. He's trying to kill kids are the parents who killed him for killing kids.
Yeah.
So it's fucked up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a weird ass motherfucker. Especially because, they're like, I can't fall asleep. And, the thing about sleep is you gotta go to
they
sleep
fight
eventually.
it in the classroom and
it's-
shit. They had that
it's-
scene. Yeah, man. Out of older, like Hellraiser was pretty dope, but for the older, scary movies, horror movies, I guess. Nightmare was dope for me. I liked it.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I'm weird with horror movies, so I never really watched it, but I'm pretty familiar with it. And I remember I used to work at this theme park and for quite a few years, and they kind of like at Six Flags where they do Fright Fest. They tried to do like their own like low budget
Was
Fright
this that
Fest
same place that had that
where they
very unsuccessful nightclub across the street? Okay, just
Yes.
so I have the right
And-
picture in head.
yeah,
Of,
it's
of
Monolith.
course,
for people that are wondering.
of course, he tried this shit.
I don't. Yeah. So they had me dress up as a costume dude, which I'm like, okay, cool, this will be fun. And they had me dress up like Freddy Krueger, which is cool, and had me hide in a haystack, walk around the park, but you're not allowed to talk, which, Disneyland, all that, you're also not really allowed to talk. But in there, you're not really even supposed to make like noises, which it's very hard to scare people when you can't like yell or do things like that. But apparently, according to one of the people, I don't know if it's true, one of the workers was saying that we're not allowed to talk because the previous year, one of the guys was hitting on girls in costume, and it was getting lucky. So I'm like, what the? Who the hell does that?
It worked.
Who gets turned on? Who gets turned on by guys in costume? And this is before I knew about role playing, so I was out of my depth. So I'm walking around as Freddy Krueger. Now, keep in mind, I can't talk. I am getting so much womanly love. They're like following me around, like, Freddy, give us your number, Freddy. I'm like, motherfucker, dude. This is not an
I'd
appealing
get
costume.
fired. I'd be talking.
He's a fucking.
I couldn't help myself.
He's a fucking. He's a. Freddy Krueger is not a good-looking guy, and I am getting like, everywhere I go, people are just like, what's your number? You want to meet us afterwards? We're going to the nightclub. And I'll just be like, this is hard to show in podcast format, but I like shake my head no and kind of turn around like the hurricane from wrestling and
Just stand back.
away. And yeah, and I would tell them like, guys, I'm getting hit on even when I'm not talking. And that's weird. And I am not a very swaggery person. So then I had to dress up, and so then I got to dress up like in this giant Zeus costume, and that was fun because I was just dancing around doing like the disco and shit, and I would break the rules and I would go on the rides in costume. Like I would go on the go-karts and drive around. I couldn't see shit. And I got in a lot of trouble.
You can't talk, but you can drive around in the go-karts blind.
Yeah, I'd wave at people, or I'd dance and shit, and people would dance with me. It was a lot of fun.
That's good.
So, part of me misses those days, but for legal reasons, do not drive around in go-karts in a costume that inhibits your vision. Please and thank you. Okay. but that was fun.
Great. All I'm saying is you should have took those wins, man.
Yeah.
You're in a costume,
Definitely.
you can't even talk,
All
and
right,
they still flock into you. It's a good Halloween.
It was. I saw about a week in, because I stopped doing the Freddy Krueger costume. There was another guy named Mike that was in the Freddy Krueger costume, and I would see like he'd be like leaning up against this bench, and there were girls up by him, and he'd be like, kind of like, you know how like some people when they talk, they like touch their crotch. He'd be like doing that, but as Freddy Krueger with his like claws and shit. I'm like, that
Perfect.
is the most awkward fucking.
What would Freddy do?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Try to something to do with sleep. He's like, can we go to sleep
Well, I mean-
yet? You're like, I want to stay up with you, Freddy. Let's
Well,
go
to
to
be
sleep.
fair, I mean, Freddy ends up having a daughter at some point, so I mean, it's not like he was out of character.
Man, it was just, I don't know. Some people weird me out with, for some reason, when you're in costume, the girls like it. And I'm sure, you know, guys like it also in return, you know, just as Catwoman or whatever. You're like, ooh, Catwoman. Wow.
Is that what you look up, Greg?
It's, no.
Do you watch
I
the
don't
Halle
know.
Berry version of Catwoman?
Anyway.
That terrible
I
CGI.
saw like half of it, and I
It's disgusting.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It was
Hey,
weird.
what's your number 4, Greg?
My number 4 is Brett Favre, scary motherfucker. No, I'm joking. It's Scooby Doo, and more specifically Scooby Doo on Zombie Island.
Oh,
I'm kind of
that's
mixing
right.
them up because
I should have known.
I dig me some Scooby Doo. I grew up on that shit, as I'm sure most people do nowadays. But
I feel like the older I mean, most definitely the older stuff was the doper stuff, but that show was just so
Absolutely,
fucking good.
yeah.
And the specials like
Mhm.
Zombie Island, they did a really good job with that shit. Like I got pumped up every time a new one come up.
Yeah. Yeah, there was when how we were talking about like how The Office is like kind of background noise
Yeah.
for a lot of people now. Back in the day, Scooby Doo was kind of the background noise for like me and my brother when my mom didn't want to, just wanted to sit back and
It's good
relax for a
wallpaper.
bit. We just watched Scooby Doo, and that happened to be a lot. So I know I had Scooby Doo like everything: Scooby Doo blanket, Scooby Doo pillow, whole bed set, clothes, fucking pants. It was weird. So growing up, I liked Scooby Doo a lot.
You know what I blame? I blame the theme song. It's too catchy. How can you not watch a show with a theme song
Yes.
like that?
But that whole series is great, and Zombie Island's really cool. And I personally related to Shaggy not only because I kind of looked like him, especially with my puberty beard later on, but as a kid, I was a bit of a fatty, though I could never gain weight. I just had a really high ass metabolism, so I would see Shaggy eat all this food and never gain weight either. So it was kind of a like, he's my spirit animal
He was your superhero, man.
type of deal. So
I want to be like Shaggy when I grow up.
I dug that. And Scooby Doo on Zombie Island is just awesome. It's got a cool soundtrack. And it's nice to actually see them deal with some like actual shit, which is nice. Plus, for some reason, I like stuff set in like bayous and like swamps and shit. I don't know. That's just fun for
And
me.
they did a good job of animating that too.
Yes, they did. And watching that show and those movies always makes me hungry for whatever reason because they're always eating.
Some dope ass looking sandwiches.
They do got some really dope ass sandwiches.
What the fuck is on that sandwich?
Love. And the secret of the universe, probably.
Most definitely.
Joe, what's your number 4?
The original. Well, I guess it's not the original because it was a book. But Stephen King's It with Tim Curry.
Yeah. You've mentioned this a few times on the podcast. So.
Yeah, I really dig it. It's funny as hell, man. I think I just like horror movies that make me laugh. But he does a really good job of balancing that alluring, like, of course a kid might get interested. He's like a friendly clown and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
throwing that bait out, and then just mentally fucking with these kids. And then the kids get their revenge, and you can beat the shit out that spider crab looking motherfucker. But it comes full circle, man. It's a good way to spend a few hours. I really enjoyed that one. The remake was good. I haven't watched chapter 2 yet, but the first one was good.
Yeah. Well, someday, I'll probably get dragged into watching it sometime.
You haven't
From my dead body.
Have you watched either one?
Nope.
Have you read the books?
Nope. Nope.
Just pull the trigger, man.
Nope. On my head? Sure. Before I watch those.
No,
yes.
no, you'll be fine. Do you have a thing against clowns?
No.
Then you'll be good. It's all just
like those.
If you can find the humor in it, you'll be golden. And there's plenty of humor in this movie.
I don't have any like phobias or anything. I don't like being scared on purpose. I don't like putting something in the DVD player and like, you know what? I want to have trouble sleeping. It's because that's what I'm dealing with now after watching The Shining. I'm just like, after seeing that weird rotting naked lady, I'm like, God fucking damn it! I can't close my eyes.
Did The Shining get you?
In that part, but other than that, I would say if you could watch Dexter, then you could watch, The Shining without any real problems. But gore's never really bothered me too much. But naked rotting lady was a bit much. It's just like, oh shit, we're all gonna look like that eventually. Fuck. But yeah, so I try to avoid it if I can. Like, for example, when Spike was first coming out as a TV channel, they were having a marathon of Jaws, and I liked sharks as a kid. So I saw the commercial that it was on late at night, waited until my mom was asleep, snuck out to the living room, touch the buttons all quiet, because, if you push a button too hard, they'll come running out and fucking whip your ass. So, sat real close to TV, watched Jaws, freaked me the fuck out, the first one. And back then, we only had like a bath. We didn't have a shower. So whenever I'd have to take a bath, I would not like sit in it. Like my mom would set me in, she'd close the door, then I'd just stand up immediately. I wouldn't want to, because whenever I sat down in the bathtub, I would always think Jaws is right behind me in the bathtub, which is very fucking illogical and stupid. But for like a week, I did not take a bath, and eventually I started to smell like shit.
And shit,
she's all
shit is shark sugar, so you can't smell like shit, because then the sharks are definitely gonna get you.
And she's like, "Why do you smell so bad? Didn't you take your bath?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "What's wrong?" And so eventually she figured it out, but that was kind of my trigger for it's like, this is not a fun feeling to have. Being just, if there's a movie and it's messing with my daily routine, I don't like it. It annoys the hell out of me. Now, I dig monster movies for whatever reason. Godzilla, Predator.
Well, because it's
Aliens.
It's illogical. It's not gonna happen. It's nonsensical.
Yeah.
I think maybe your fear is just practicality. I mean, the shark in a tub isn't practical, but you're surrounded by water. That's a trigger.
Like those old school, like Wolfman, Frankenstein, like the Christopher Lee Dracula movies and all that. Those I dig too. I don't know why. There's just something about them.
Well, I mean, it's pretty close to comics and all that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that I just don't like. That's just me. So let's not take advantage of it anymore.
We all float down here, Greg. We all float down here.
I got a bad feeling that I'll have to.
What's your number 3? Today's.
Number 3. This is not really Halloween related at all, but for some reason, it's just a movie that I watch. Especially when I was little, like in middle school, around Halloween time, and it just kind of fit. A similar thing would be like where during Easter I watch, like around Easter I watch Lord of the Rings. I don't know why, it just happened that way, and it worked out. And for Halloween, I watch Indiana Jones usually,
Huh.
or I did, and I dig it. It's a lot of fun, especially. Um, let's just throw out Crystal Skull. Fucking forget it. No one gives a shit about it. Crystal Skull is the redheaded stepchild of the Indiana Jones universe, and let's just lock it up in the attic and forget about it. You know, Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Last Crusade. Dig that shit. Love it to fucking hell. Now, as I've gotten older, I've learned more of like the details of Indiana Jones and how it was made, and it is hard to watch them now, but I still got a soft spot for it. George Lucas, you fucking pedophile. But it's um in the leaked, not so much leaked, but in like the pre-draft, or like where they were doing script changes in Raiders of the Lost Ark, in the opening scenes, Indiana Jones meets that lady, I forget her name, in that bar. And she's all like, I was a child. And she slaps him, and he's like, you knew what you were doing. And George Lucas made it a point where she wanted that woman to be like 16 years old and Indiana Jones to be, like 40. Like, he was arguing for it. And Steven Spielberg was all like, no, that's weird. But George Lucas just wouldn't fucking budge. He just wouldn't fucking budge. He wanted her to be underage. And he needed it to be referenced in the movie. Like young adult child love. But
It's a bit odd.
that scene where they briefly acknowledge, she's like, I was a child. And you're like, you knew what you were doing. That's kind of that's the compromise they made with George Lucas. It's like, okay, we'll put this scene in there for you. Are you happy? He's like, yes, I'm happy. So, in knowing in this fictional universe, in George Lucas's mind, he sees Indiana Jones as a child fucker. It's a weird thought to have in your head.
And
But-
then next thing you know, he's gonna start dancing, grabbing his crotch,
But
going.
I could just, kind of like, with like Michael Jackson, Kristen Wattis, like, forget what they do in their free time and look at their professional work. He's a good archaeologist.
I mean, it's not so much forgetting
He's-
what they did. I mean, I can look at these people and be like, that's a terrible fucking thing to do to a human being. What a piece of shit. But the art is still dope regardless. It's a separate thing for me.
And
You know?
I'm saying that's like Indiana Jones actually did it. I mean, it's a fictional character. It's just a weird thought to have once you know that,
You know, I never
can't.
got into the movies. Something about a hat and a rope that I couldn't get into.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
know
hear
he's
ya.
trying to climb some rocks and get into caves and get some treasures and shit.
For movies that were able to be watched by kids, especially back in the day, they're pretty damn gory. Where Temple of Doom, you got the what the hell is it? They rip out people's hearts and shit with their bare hands,
Nice.
and the first one, their fucking faces
Where did
melt
they get bare
'cause
hands?
they look at they look at the Ark of the Covenant or whatever, and their whole bodies melt away, and it's like it's fucking wild. But Harrison Ford's awesome, and choreography is awesome. It's Indiana Jones. The first three are worth watching. The fourth one, again, redheaded stepchild, just fucking take a rubber hose and beat him over the head with it. Because that movie don't exist in my eyes.
It's like it's like Godfather Part 3.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the one that gets me. I'm like, you just you shit on it. I felt that way about that movie, like how people felt about the last season of Game of Thrones. Well, how dare you?
Yeah. Don't get me started on Game of Thrones. All right.
Another episode.
Number 3. What's your number 3?
It's a movie called The Strangers. I watched this shit in theaters. Fantastic. I'm sure you don't know of it.
Nope. I'm nothing but predictable.
Well, the premise is this couple that's in the process of separating. They go to like another house that they had to pack up, get their shit and be out. While they're sobbing over each other, 3 motherfuckers in masks stalk and taunt, terrify these motherfuckers. And spoilers, I'm gonna tell you why. This episode's probably gonna make me sound like a fucking crazy person, but it's a dope line for this context. They tie these motherfuckers up to a chair, right? They finally catch them. They finally got their food, Greg. Tie them up in a chair, and they all just take turns poking at them. Pop, pop, stab, 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 stab. They're bleeding and shit out their abdomen. And then the female of the couple, who is played by Liv Tyler, belts out, "Why are you doing this?" And then the one little girl who's doing the killing just looks at them confused like and says, "Because you were home." And I remember being like, damn, that's cold. God damn. I was in the theater like, damn. And then that's another one where I went home with it and I was checking out my windows constantly. And that's how I knew the movie got me. I'm like, you did good.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of movies, they didn't. Like, my trouble with horror movies is it's more nonsense than plot most of the time. Like, let's just pick a killer, choose how he kills, and then this is the type of person we're going to throw him at. And then just nothing really matters after that. Or there's a ghost in the house. Or a fucking cabin in the woods. It's a lot of the same old shit. That movie caught me off guard. Yeah. That one was like, okay, you guys did some thinking. I like it.
Now, you and me have like different perception where you see a movie and it scares you, it makes you look out the window and, like, you hear something and you look back over your shoulder, you're like, oh yeah, that did a good job. If I'm, going up the stairs and I gotta run because I'm afraid something's gonna grab my feet, or, if I'm, scared to take out the garbage at night, I'm like, this movie did a bad job. Fuck you. So it's like, same result, just 2 different perceptions on it.
It's all about outlook though. Because I get scared, but I know the real, like the realistic nature of society. Like I know I could just go for a walk, and that'll be the last time I ever take a walk for whatever reason. Just because people are just rude. Unfortunately, there's just rude people, and they're gonna harm other people. So I know my number could be up, but I'm like, fuck it, I know I'm gonna throw a couple punches. I'm at least, I'm on my toes. But more often than not, I'm always just looking over my shoulder, expecting something. And it's not, if the movie makes me do it, I'm gonna do it anyways. But if it gives me something to imagine on the other side, that's how I know they did good. But yeah, I mean, and how things are nowadays, you can pull your lotto ticket anywhere.
See, now I have a foolproof plan, and by foolproof I mean I'm working on it. So it's not foolproof yet. But if I ever get jumped by, say, crazy guy number 2 and tries to, stab me over some Skittles, here's what I'm gonna do, okay?
Okay, give it to me.
Step 1, get naked.
Okay.
Step 2, get an erection somehow. I'm not sure how to do this yet on command, especially in that environment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be well trained, Greg.
Self-administered or Viagra, or I don't know, maybe listen to some Barbra Streisand. I don't know, whatever it is.
Imagine
gonna
being
happen.
kidnapped and then after taking a Viagra and the shit lasts longer than 4 hours.
Is this dude comes and I just start shoving pills in my mouth. It's like, you're in for it now. And then if this works, I chase after this guy with my endowed body part in my hands, and I'm gonna chase after this motherfucker and beat him over the head with my dick. Or I'm just gonna chase after this guy naked, and if I catch him, I'm gonna shit on this motherfucker.
What if those are the things
I'm gonna pee on him?
the guy's hoping for? He's like, man, I really hope this guy just strips naked and tries to hit me with his boner, because that's exactly what that's exactly what I expect.
Finally, it happened. No, this is just in my mind. I'm like, okay, what is this motherfucker not expecting? Not expecting.
It's a good thing you said it on a podcast.
That's what he's not expecting. Exactly.
He's listening.
Who
He's taking notes and shit. Okay, naked. He's gonna have a boner. He's gonna try to hit me in the head. So I'll do this move.
Like a fucking
counterattack.
It's like a little nightstick or whatever. I got like, for example, this is kind of it in practice because I kind of had to deal with this already, which is a weird thing to say. I think you were off work and I was working at Culver's, and we're working with one of our weird coworkers, and
that's
he's
vague.
going on.
Oh, that could be anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And he had this weird fascination with talking about raping me.
Oh, I think I know who.
Yeah, he's all like,
someday
someday I'm gonna bend you over and shove my dick in your ass so it sticks out your mouth, or someday I'm gonna tie you up to a chair and break your elbows and your knees, and then I'm gonna, do oral sex on you, or really weird. He's like, in his mind, he thinks he's made funny by being like aggressively gay. And after a few days of dealing with this, I'm just like, whatever, But, it's day after day, and he keeps doing this when we're alone. And I'm like,
an awkward situation.
So I'm like, okay, I need to shut this guy up. What's the weirdest thing I can fucking say to this motherfucker? So I just took it up. I took it up to like another level. He's going on about how he wants to like chop off my balls or chop off my dick and turn it into a dildo for himself. And I'm like, all right,
talk.
Okay, I'll make you a deal. I'll let you do that, okay? But you have to eat my teeth first.
Your teeth?
And he's like, what? He's like, I will let you do that. I'll let you do whatever you want to me, but you have to eat my teeth. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm not going to let you do shit to me until you eat my teeth. Otherwise, I know you're just talking shit. And he's like, I don't understand. I'm like, are you going to grow some balls or are you going to eat my teeth? And it just, for days, he's just saying this weird shit to me. I'm like, I'm just going to say the weirdest thing that comes to my fucking head and just see how he reacts.
Teeth is a fair play.
Yeah,
he need to boost up his imagination for that one.
Yeah, so he left me alone for a while after that, and he kept at it, but not to the point that he was before.
You know
So
what?
I felt kind
You
of
know
good
what
with
I
myself.
felt worked well with that particular person.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell him to go do dishes.
Go do dishes. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, I don't have time for this. This isn't productive. Go do some dishes.
Yeah. Um. This is after like the first few months of working with him, but after like the first like 8 months or so, like at the 8 month point, he'd be saying this shit. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it anymore. And I just started getting more blunt with him, and just I stopped playing the game. And he's like, "Well, you don't gotta be so mean about it." I'm like, dude, all you do is talk about fucking raping people and killing
Now
them.
I'm gonna go wash my hands for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, shit. Well, all right. Enough weird shit.
Number two.
Number
Speaking of
two.
shit,
I got my kind of just the games I like. I got BioShock, which is probably my favorite game.
I expected that.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead, Resident Evil 4, stuff like that. It's good stuff. Uh, stuff like Oxenfree, which, by the way, that game I was looking forward to. I think it's called After Party. The makers of Oxenfree. It comes out. It came out an hour ago, and I fucking pre-ordered it. I'm excited. I get to play it. I'll probably play it tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna stream that motherfucker. It looks like a lot of fun because, yeah, you're like in hell, and these people, in order to get their souls back on Earth, they have to
They
out
gotta
drink the
eat your
devil.
teeth.
And like this like bar hopping challenge. They keep drinking these different like hell drinks or whatever, and I don't know. Somehow they got to outdrink the devil, and if they do that, they get their souls back. And it looks like a lot of fun, and you have to deal with all these demons and shit. It looks like fun. If you're curious, you can look up my YouTube channel. It's connected to our YouTube page, so you can find it on there. Fun times,
Oh, what a
but
plug.
yeah, it's whatever.
I dig the plug, especially once European.
But yeah, I mean, BioShock is awesome. I finally got the collection. I still have not.
Yeah.
I still haven't played Infinite, so that's on my list. But I'm in a sports mood, so I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K and Madden and baseball lately. So once I get out of that mood, I'll probably hop on that again.
That's fair. That's
So
fair.
that's
I'm trying to get that new Call of Duty game.
Oh yeah. It's supposed to be pretty
Yeah,
good.
I played both of the weekends and they were fantastic. And then when I went home the other day, my cousin Mark was playing it. And I hopped on for a little bit, and that game, it's just so fucking smooth. They really did a fantastic job with this one.
hmm I heard it's like a
Uh,
slower pace. So
yeah, it's not really over exaggerated. Everything's kind of practical. They even have a setting where you could take all the shit off your screen and not even get hit markers when you shoot them.
yeah.
So it's like, make sure you're accurate because you might not actually be hitting them. Yeah, it's just a good game. And I want to check out that campaign too. So
It looks like fun. I'll probably check it out sometime. My fiance likes it when I buy them, but she doesn't really play them that much. So probably
fair.
Christmas time or something, I'll end up getting it. All right. What's your number dos? Number 2.
number dose. Batman: The Long Halloween.
Batman: The Long Halloween.
Yes.
Is that a comic?
Yes, it is.
Ah, that's probably why I'm not familiar with it.
Do you know The Dark Knight,
Like the
movie with
Yeah.
Joker?
I've never heard of this.
the whole premise of what's going on with that movie, it's apart from the Joker stuff, but more the Bruce Wayne, Harvey Dent, Batman, what would be Two-Face, or what would become Two-Face. All that was pretty much stripped from this comic.
Mm.
And, it was a lot of the Falcone family versus the Maronis, and Harvey trying to put people away. And it's called the Long Halloween because beginning that Halloween, there has been a murder on every holiday. So every time there's a holiday coming up, people know that somebody's going to die. Except for April Fools. Because April Fools, motherfucker. But yeah, you see Harvey Dent become Two-Face in this. Joker, has his mischief. There's just... And for, it being mob-centric, and I really dig the mob. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great book. And when we decided to do this, one of the first things that popped in my head was, oh shit, the Long Halloween. If we're going to do a Halloween episode, there's no way I'm not putting Batman in here somehow. Well, for any fucking episode. So, the Long Halloween is it. We would not have The Dark Knight without this book.
Well, I'll definitely put it on my list then.
It's fantastic.
Really, anything Batman, it's worth checking out for me. All right. We have come to the moment of truth. In this vague...
Our truth.
The our truth. In this...
What's up?
We come to the conclusion of this really vague countdown based on spooky stuff. We're at number one. My number one is Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's more.
Oh, good grief!
It's nostalgia, definitely, but this is other than like Star Trek, my mom was obsessed with Charlie Brown, so she had all the movies, so it was like a fixture where all the holidays we'd have to watch the Peanuts, or she'd have the old cartoons or knickknacks all over the house. Like, my mom liked Snoopy so much that when she died, she got buried with a Snoopy stuffed animal. Like,
nice.
It's
not nice, but
yeah,
that's good.
It's so I've seen this movie more times than I can count, and now I'm showing my kids, and my stepkids.
That tradition.
Yeah. The stepkids don't necessarily get it, because it's older now, and it doesn't exactly, keep their attention as it did, back in our day.
Well, I mean, it was the whole Peanuts thing was a good kind of innocent, the whole Charlie Brown and the gang. That was every time they came together, it was dope. Plus, I mean, who's cooler than Snoopy?
Snoopy's boss. I got it kind of planned out. I'm planning on getting more.
Woodstock. Woodstock's dope as hell.
I'm planning on getting more tattoos, and one of the tattoos I want to get is like Snoopy next to like a Peanuts gang Charlie Brown style of like Jon Snow, where it's kind of like a mix of like things I like and like a tribute to my mom also. But
That'd be cool.
Someday, who knows? Maybe when I'm 74, I'll get around to actually finally doing that.
I wish you would have said 64. That's a Beatles song.
Yeah. Charlie Brown, it's kind of the same with like the Christmas special, it's one of those things that just has a foothold on my soul one way or another, especially with my childhood. But that's my number one. What is your number one, Joe?
Well, mine's not nearly as sentimental, but it is something that you've already brought up, Greg.
Yeah, that's all good.
It's Resident Evil 4.
I
just started playing this game again. I'm revisiting it, and god damn, is it fun!
It's definitely a classic. Yeah.
Those chainsaw motherfuckers come at you early too. It didn't take long for these guys to show up. They had the gas ready. They had it sharpened up. Like, fuck it, let's do it.
It's
Um,
it's a weird combination of like kind of American cheesiness and Japanese cheesiness too, where you got like the president's daughter. and fucking-
oh yeah, the storyline is it gets very ridiculous.
it's absurd, but it's great.
Yeah, and there's that fucking little tiny guy. Some weird shit going on, but
Yeah.
that gameplay though.
Oh yeah. It's shit. Caught me in a yawn. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, it is 1:42 a.m.
Man, I'm going on maybe a little under a day without sleep. So I'm pooped. But it's but what is a part of Resident Evil 4 that sticks out to you the most when you think about it?
When you're going up that elevator shaft, the zombies are just pouring in on you.
Oh yeah. Mine is
That whole thing is some of the most intense, fucking rapid heartbeat, invoking, like fucking play. It's fucking insane, man. You're just like, man, if you don't have enough ammo, you're fucked. And it takes so slow to knife. You gotta be on your game. That shit was fun.
yeah. I remember that level where you're with that French dude and you're in that like barn house and
Oh yeah,
the
I
zombies
was.
are breaking through all the windows and shit.
I had just played that part. That part was. I picked up a rifle too, so it helped a bunch with that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that game is definitely up there for me too. Um, do you have any honorable mentions you wanted to spit out before
Um,
we clock out?
the flood in Halo 2.
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't incorporate it because it really has nothing to do with Halloween, and it's not really a horror game. But those moments with the flood in Halo 2, like Halo 3, it's it's a little brighter. But when these motherfuckers come at you in 2, they fucking come at you. I was playing on Windows Vista because they released it for that, and somebody in my family had a Vista computer. I was an XP guy.
Yeah.
But I bought the game. I went to go play it. The monitor's right up in my face. So every time the flood came, it's like they were jumping at me. I was like, fuck. I got a couple jumps out that.
Mm-hmm.
God damn you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What about you? Do you have any honorable mentions?
It's hard to bring up Halloween and not mention Tim Burton in general. But
It's very easy for me. I'm glad you brought that up.
yeah, I'm not the wildest fan of his movies, but Sweeney Todd, Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride,
It definitely has its demographic.
Dark Shadows, his Batman movies. He's got the ambience, but the reason he's on my top 10 is just because I'm not as crazy about his stuff as, like, for example, my fiance is, or like Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice.
I mean, I dig Beetlejuice. That one I'm not mad at. But that's a lot of Michael Keaton. It's a lot of Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, I don't have any real issues with him, but to each their own.
No, I love Michael Keaton.
Oh.
He made that movie for me.
You were saying it like it was like a public service announcement. You're like, it's a lot of Michael Keaton.
Well, I mean,
okay, just like be wary, kids.
Well, I mean,
it's Michael Keaton.
For the movie, that's the biggest draw for me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, that one scene where they're pulling their face, that shit's fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They gotta look dead, so they morph their face up a little bit, a fucking lot of bit, but
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the other Tim Burton films I don't really fuck with. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I get the appeal. I understand why people like it. But it's just it doesn't grab me.
Yeah, it's all good. To each their own. I mean, same with me. Most of my girlfriends, have a thing for Johnny Depp, as I think most, you know, ladies do. So it's kind of that.
I dig his guitar work.
He's a great fucking guitarist.
Yeah,
I
I
felt
was very
so bad
surprised.
for
I was
him.
happy for him. Oh shit! Why'd you
I,
feel bad for him?
he was his ex-wife was accusing him of being a a wife beater and all this.
Oh, I think I remember this.
They were she was saying how he he'd like cut his finger open and write messages on the mirror in his own blood, like threatening her and shit, and how he was like clinically depressed and all that. And then later on that year, she admitted that she was lying about it. And this is right around when the Me Too stuff started, when she brought this up. So Johnny Depp got a lot of heat for it. And I don't think a lot of people know that she admitted to lying about it because, it's not as sexy of a story.
Well, after so many scandals, the Weinstein and the Kevin Spacey and the Louis C.K. coming on his own stomach. And there's just so many. I even forgot that happened. I forgot Depp was in any hot water.
There's a few that just seem like they want to get out of the trouble without admitting what they did. Like Dan Harmon from Rick and Morty and the Community. He had that go on and he just admitted it, said he was sorry, said he was stupid, and he learned from his mistakes and he moved on. No weird jokes, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, cool. And he just went on with his day. Where Louis C.K. was all like, so what? I showed them my dick. They cost me fucking money. Everyone's like, dude, you still suck. Or Kevin Spacey was, sexually harassing.
Oh, yeah, all these people are doing wrong.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's almost like celebrity mass shootings. There's always a mass shooting going on, and there's always a celebrity fucking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's unfortunately, these people just be doing rude shit.
Yeah.
People are just rude, man.
Yeah.
It's not even a Halloween thing.
Yeah. In tradition for Halloween, Johnny Depp is tied to a lot of those movies. I think it's good to kind of clear his name a little bit if people don't know about it. He's a cool cat. His wife.
It's very honorable of you.
His ex-wife admitted that she was a lying piece of shit about it. So if you knew about it and you didn't hear her admission, you can enjoy his movies if that bothered you. Or, keep on chugging along. Johnny Depp's a cool cat.
Or you can be like me and just like people for their shit.
Yeah. But not Indiana Jones, fictional pedophile.
Well, yeah, the actual character is flawed.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anything else you want to say before we head off?
Nah, man, fuck this. I want to sleep.
Yeah, me too, if I can. Dead, naked, bloated ladies in my dreams. Well, if you enjoy the show, help it grow. You can follow us on Facebook,
Don't follow.
Twitter.
I'll be ready to punch you.
We put shit on YouTube. I just put up
All
my
the time.
Shining reaction on there if you want to see me swear a lot
Eat popcorn.
and all that. And
He eats a lot of popcorn.
yep. I also got my gaming channel, GG Gaming. There's like 400 of those. So if you click on our YouTube channel, you can find that if you want to watch me play After Party. Otherwise, you have a safe, happy Halloween, and we will see you next week.
Check your candies. You gotta check them. The Bearded Synergy podcast is recorded in 2 different locations. Joe's out of Rolling Meadows, Illinois, and Greg, respectively, is in Boston. The episodes are edited by Greg or Joe, depending on the mood, and mixed by Joe. Most of the ideas are Greg, and then we just talk about things, and we are happy to have listeners. Music by Joe. Distribution and social networking by Greg. The song that follows is an Identity Crisis self-proclaimed classic. Larry Bush on most of the instruments, and myself rapping. You have a lovely day.
Baby, when you dance, you know you look pretty. My stripped down, tied up, little itty bitty. Baby, when you dance, you know you look pretty. My stripped down, tied up, little itty bitty. Another slash, then the blood really flows, pouring out your fantasies and all your twisted goals. I'm killing you, cause you've been killing me. Slice off your tongue, ending your bullshit factory. Your lies, your deceit, your excuses, a facade. Anything you've ever done wrong in the name of your God. I'm the odd motherfucker society drowns out. Still a better half than split personality clown. I saw off your legs for how you march with the biggest cut off your hands. Are trying to hold us at limits now. Smile for the camera, the world needs to witness. I'm doing this for us, it's more personal than business. I cut out your one eye so you can see your soul. Let you reflect on your past in that bottomless hole. Unforgivable actions and cancel your spirit shown in your songs, flowing those cancerous lyrics. I let you keep your ears so you can hear your screams. And every syllable my aggressive conscience breathes. So when your heart rate stops, I hope you know what you've done. Leaving behind an image that will forever plague your son. Baby, when you dance, you know you look pretty. My stripped down, tied up, little itty bitty. Baby, when you dance, you know you look pretty. My stripped down, tied up, little itty bitty.